And that also a little bit relates to what Esmeralda is doing now, but also what you're doing before. Because before you became a fashion editor at Glamour Magazine, you were also working as a social worker, right? What's the link between your previous job and now working in fashion? Because I can also imagine that as a social worker before, you were working with a lot of young people who were facing certain problems in their life, and now with the switch of fashion. Let's first start with why this link within like fashion editor and social worker.
Well, the big link is me because for me it's like showing up as my authentic self, and always my father always say like follow the voice of your heart, and that's what I always do. Like I always trust, like you can call it universe or God or like whatever. I always trust that feeling. So I'm really connected with myself. So when something feels right, it feels right, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. So I was working as a social worker in Almere, and I noticed, and I've always had a strong feeling of justice and injustice, and I was feeling like the black boys I was working with, teenagers, were treated differently than the white boys. And even way back when I was studying, I noticed like some studies were like really focused on like I ticked all the boxes, like from a bad neighborhood, single mom. I was like, oh shit, you know, I have to go to prison or something like that. So
basically, like
I will not end up well.
So in school, you like the boxes that you ticked had no good future.
No, and it was for me like, who wrote this
curriculum?
Yeah, who wrote this? Hoe zeg je het? Onderzoek? Like
research.
Who
did
wrote
this research?
This research? Like with what background and the way? How do you look at people? You know,
what is this based?
Yeah, because I see something different. I see like I grew up with a very close family, and I see what I saw like in Almere. The kids were like, people were working full time and the children were home alone, so they had a lot of nice stuff. But like for me, like the troubled teenagers were like not what I saw in researchers. So it's like, how come like this image we have of like young black boys, and then I was noticing like the way newspapers were writing about them, and like how come like the people I see and I know are not
being represented in the
like where are they, like in the magazines? And I was like, maybe I should change that.
No, I love that, and I'm really happy that you're at Glamour Magazine. What was the change for you? Like as a social worker to now a fashion editor at Glamour Magazine. Did you know, especially like you said, from the place where you came from, I can imagine that you did not have any examples of people working in fashion or in the position that you're in now. So what made you go to fashion, and especially the position that you're in now?
Well, that also like, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to be a fashion editor. No, for me it was like, I thought I had just had a baby, and I was studying, and like, I want you to do everything that makes you happy. And I was like, well, if I have to do this job, like, and I was good at my job, but like, if I have to do this for 40 more years, it's going to be a long ride. So that's when I knew, like, okay, what do I want to do? And like, I said to my husband, I want to do something different, but it's not like we have like big bag of money, like just go and do whatever you want. It was like, okay, I feel something creative, and he was like, and my parents always said, like, you have to follow, you only have one life, so you make the best out of it. So if you want to go, we're here. And like my mom said, I love the grandbaby, so I will babysit them, like whatever. So I just went to a fashion academy, and I was like, I want to make minimalistic designs, because I think there's a lot of waste. That's a different problem, but I thought, but then I had the course fashion styling, but I thought styling was like dressing up people. I never knew, I thought about concept or something like that, and then I did it, and I was like, oh my god, this is what I love telling stories, and like I can make my own world, I can create my own world, and that's how I went for it. And then I wrote one letter to Vogue Netherlands for internships. And was like,
So
yeah, this
cool.
is a weird story. I'm 28 years old, I have 2 babies, and I don't live in Amsterdam anymore, but I just feel like I have to do this for 6
Yeah.
months and then my savings are gone. So, and then I will go back to social work. That's what I thought.
Wow.
But then I went in and I
never,
did the
never left
internship.
again.
And now, and they asked me for Glamour. So, yeah.
I think that's so inspiring, and I hope that the people watching or listening to this will definitely do this. Like sometimes people are in a position, they have like a traditional job and they feel like, okay, but this is what society wants me to do or my
Yeah.
parents want me to do. How can I make sure that I'm also happy?
Yeah.
You know, so you really took that leap of faith, wrote a letter, something that I wouldn't even think about doing, but that brought you in that position, which I really love. And